Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Market Moves. Today's episode, we're just going to go over what happened in the market today and what we're going to look for tomorrow and to close out the week for the rest of the week. All right, so this is SPX, which is the SPX 500, the S&P 500 index. So we're going to take a look at this one-day chart. If we look, we're getting wicked to the upside, so basically a wick on the bottom, around the same area we saw a few days ago. We saw 1, 2, 3 wicks now around this area. What do I think? Okay, so this red candle that we had yesterday, this one right here, was really big volume. However, I do think that the market still wants to go up. So let's take away this trend line and let's draw another one, a new one, right? So if we have a drawing from here, let's say this is our bottom. We have a bottom right here, another bottom right here, a bottom right here, and we can continue going up, riding this trend line. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, hold on, let me change the color of this. Let's have this be our blue trend line. We see we're going up. We're testing higher highs and lower highs. So we have a low high. We start from a low right here. We make a low high, a new low. This is our new low right here. We started selling around here. We make a newer high. So a new high, new low, new high, new high, new high, and assuming that we have a new low right here, we can continue riding upward. All right. So what happens tomorrow? What's the big piece of news happening tomorrow? Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, is speaking tomorrow. So Jerome Powell is going to speak at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time about the market and about Fed rate hikes. So rate hikes keep the economy in check, keep inflation down. When inflation is too high, we have the Federal Reserve putting out rate hikes to make inflation go down. And if you guys haven't seen the inflation headlines from this year, you must have lived under a rock because those inflation headlines were everywhere. So we've had rate hikes ever since January of 2022, I think, when the rate hike started, and we've been kind of riding them up until recently. So up until recently, we've had a rate hike we had a lower rate hike. So we had 75 BPS a few times, maybe like 3-4 times if I remember correctly, and we finally got them lowered to 50 BPS, and that was very bullish news for the market because the market realizes that maybe this inflation news is finally going to be going away from the headlines. We're probably going to be going back up soon, and the market soon followed. All right, so what do I see when we zoom out? All right, so I know that we're making for the bull case right now, but we can also speak for the bear case. So the bear case that we have is we have a high here, a new low, a high, a lower low, a lower high also, this is a lower high, a lower high here, lower low, lower low, lower high. That's where we are right now. However, this is on a weekly chart, okay? So when we look at the weekly chart, we have to take into consideration big news events and big pivots in the market. So around here was quarter two. When we had quarter two earnings, this was quarter two earnings, right? Quarter two earnings were horrendous, and quarter three earnings were also horrendous. Quarter four earnings were also pretty bad. I think they were pretty bad also, but they were all kind of like expected because quarter two and three were really bad. So quarter two and three were earnings that were red after a long-term green earnings for a lot of these big cap companies like Apple. They had a really big Facebook had a really big miss. I think that was a really big one. Netflix had a really big miss. Those were pretty big earnings that caused the market to go down. But yeah, I think we're gonna ride this upward momentum. I think the green volume is finally starting to speak for itself. We have bigger green weeks and we have red weeks recently. This was last seen around here. We have this big green week. The red candles are still significant, but they're much bigger green candles. We had 4 straight weeks of green, and hopefully, if we break this little triangle, if we erase this, we erase this. If we look at this little triangle that's forming, we break it and we go to the upside. That'd be really big for the market. But who knows at this point? The Federal Reserve has its course of action, and we're just gonna have to be along for the ride. So if we do break up to the upside, which I personally think is gonna happen, that means the stock market bottom has been reached in October 10th, around that week. So remember, guys, just be wary of what news events are happening, because news seems to be the driving factor in a market with low volume. Basically, volume has been thinning out as as a lot of these hedge funds start closing shop. Christmas time is not a good time for stocks, because a lot of these bigger stock traders just like don't trade for Christmas time. They spend Christmas with their families. So low volume relatively means that it's going to be very treacherous trading conditions. What that means when you trade low volume is you want to look at the wider time frame. You don't want to be caught up in this chop. If you see the 1 day, you see how 1 day we've been going up. However, if you look at the 5 minute, this chart looks like it's barely moving. This chart is just like up down. It's no clear direction like we had. Like, this is a very clear up day. Or this, do you see how this is just mostly chop? Like, we're not really moving that much. We have a big move overnight. This was a very big move overnight. That was our green day. But other than that, we haven't had these large moves. So what can I say to that? Just increase your volume, increase your time frame, 1 day time frame minimum. If you want to look for swings, if you want to look for day trades, 1 hour time frame is your friend. Right now, it's your friend. You see how your entries will look. Why would you ever enter here? This stock is not moving. The SPY is not moving. S&P is not moving. This is our little uptrend that we had on the 1 hour, and volume is horrendous. These candles are not big at all. These are really low, like really small candles. The candles are supposed to look like these. You see 1 hour candles look really big. Look at these baby candles. Those are nothing. The volume has just been sucked out of the market. So you want to give yourself as much of a candle to work with, and that's why I like to zoom out. You got these bigger candles. You can see the bigger, larger trend here. So if we do find the bottom, and we break up this uptrend, we break up this up channel, remember that you want to play the larger trend until the market brings in traders again around January. Do not let yourself get caught in this treacherous trading conditions. It's not fun. You will slowly bleed your portfolio out, and it will be a bad time for everyone. Other than that, I would like to take a look at QQQ, which is the tech index. Tech has been beat up. We had this very large up channel. You see this up channel right here. We broke this up channel. It looks better in the 1 day chart. So this up channel right here, it broke. And then we have a lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. And finally around here, it seems like we're bottoming, but I'm not really sure. QQQ has been beat up. The high of QQQ was around like 400, and now we're like hovering around 260, 270. So I would be careful playing tech. It's just smarter to play SPY and the S&P rather than playing QQQ or tech stocks. Tech stocks have just been beat up. If you look at more tech stocks, like for example, if you look at Soxel, for example, Soxel's semiconductor. I know it's leveraged, but just look how beat up this stock's got. If you look at AMD, where's AMD? If you look at AMD's gotten beaten up too. These bigger stocks, these bigger tech stocks have just not been having a fun time. Snow has been beaten up. Snow is not really a tech stock, but it falls under the same category as like tech, in my eyes at least. Snow has been beaten up. Apple has been doing pretty good. We caught a support. We're still riding this trend line. However, we did see a gap down from last week to this week, which is not fun for my positions because I'm in Apple calls. But yeah, just remember that tech is getting beat up, but the SPX and SPY, SPY and SPX are looking pretty good. I'm going to show you guys my SPY chart. It just looks like a mess. I will hide these lines for you. Those are my day trading lines when I trade it on 5 minute time frame. So look, we have an uptrend, we broke, now we have a downtrend. However, look at this. The green volume is starting to show itself again. And the last time this happened, where green volume was bigger than red volume, we had a pretty big bull run. That's all I'm gonna say. So remember to add SPX and SPY to your watch list. If you already don't have them, they're essentials to a trader. Just be careful in these markets. It's not fun to get caught in chop. There's nothing more to say really. Have fun trading tomorrow after 1:30. Be careful of news events. Always have news calendars open. And if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, the free Discord, there is an About Me page in my channel. And subscribe, like, anything helps to grow the channel. See you guys tomorrow. Another one of these videos will be dropped. Bye guys.